here on the Bossman show here with Bucky McMillan, coach of the Sanford Bulldogs out of SoCon. Coach McMillan, how are things with you guys over in Birmingham, man?
Man, just like it is everywhere. We got a timeout going on. Everybody's just chilling, staying at home right now, but hopefully that's about to change sometime soon, and it's safe for everybody to get out and get back to normal life, and we get back to some basketball at some point here.
Now, how's it been for you trying to put together a staff, talk to your team via Zoom and FaceTime through this pandemic? Because I know you naturally, as a coach, you want to get there and get stuff going, get with you guys in person, and kind of build a relationship building from day one, face to face. But they ain't doing it via Zoom and FaceTime. So, how has that been for you so far?
Well, it's not the way you envision it when you accept a job, obviously. But I think we've done a good job, and the athletic department and School of Sanford's done a good job of organizing it so the turnover under these circumstances wouldn't be as difficult as you would think. But, just not getting to see the players face-to-face is something that, I wish we could do. But we've been good. We've been communicating with our players, current players, and obviously recruiting for new players coming in. So I think we made some progress. One thing is, you can't get on campus to work the guys out and do the basketball part of it. So it's full-fledged recruiting right now, and our staff's done a good job, made some good way there.
I'm talking about this a little bit with some of my friends in the business, how this pandemic is kind of a blessing in the sky in the sense of, hey, which guys are players now, who are self-motivated to play ball and love the game on their own without getting pushed by, the strength coach or a manager or assistant coach get them out there on the court and play ball. They have to do it on their own now, which can kind of tell you who the guys you can really depend on, who really loves the game of basketball. They're not just here for a scholarship, just to be playing the game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like I told our guys, you can't even really give workouts for your guys right now. Like, I want you to go do this, I want you to go do this, because some guys can't get to a place that's a goal. But, the guys that really have a love for the game and, are true competitors, they're going to do something to outwork their competition. And so whether that's get to a goal or that means, hey, I'm going to train my body through, running and strength training or whatnot, real competitors find a way because they have the fear when they're sitting at home by themselves that the guys are going to be competing with them against them or outworking them. So I'm with you, 100% that, guys that are real competitors in this time period will thrive because they'll find a way when others will be able to make, excuses for reasons not to do things.
You got that right. I believe in this, Bucky. No excuses for me. If you want an excuse, you'll find one. I mean, if you really dedicate to your craft, you'll find a way to get something done within the rules that you have to do right now, which is the stay-at-home orders or distancing, whatever you have in your state or wherever you're at right now. I mean, you can find a way. Where's a way? That's how my father always taught me.
Yeah, I'm with you. And we're not wanting anyone to jeopardize their safety, obviously. But I mean, if you can't find a way to get to a goal, and then try to get your body in the best cardiovascular shape you can possibly be in. Try to do, try to do 100 push-ups every hour. There's things you can do while staying safe. So that's one thing with our program. We're not going to have, and not pertaining to this, we're not going to have excuses in our program. One of the things I told our guys when I talked to them is that respect is earned, it's not given. It's just how it is. And great programs every year. You look at the great college basketball programs or college programs of any sport, every year a team comes in there and they earn respect. And that's what it takes from these players during this time period to do things that are going to earn respect of the new coaching staff. We're going to do things as well that we want to earn the respect of our players. So we're going to be working hard during this time frame and not making excuses ourselves so that our players respect us the way that we want them to.
I hear that, and you know what? I feel like this too. You got mad respect from your administration because you came from the high school ranks to actually come bring you up from there. They really had to believe in you. Of course, you've been in Birmingham your whole life there, playing ball there at Birmingham Southern. Then you coach high school ball in Birmingham. So having this administration say, "Hey, we want to lead our program," how did that make you feel, knowing what you've done in your career so far at the high school level and playing in college as well?
Well, obviously, I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Sanford's a place I believe in. The administrators there, from the president to the athletic department, all of the faculty. not just to have the opportunity, but to have the opportunity there means a great deal to me. I think it's a great fit on both sides. I think that me being from here can help breathe new excitement from the city over to Sanford in the basketball program. I obviously just am elated for the chance to get in there and meet everybody that's part of the campus and part of the athletic department when this virus calms down.
I hear that, and Ashley, my ex lives in Birmingham and Bessemer area, outside Birmingham and Bessemer, so I kind of know the area pretty well, man. And they love basketball, and one of my good friends was Joe Dean Jr. He always gave me some points how Birmingham was, man. So just tell our listeners about Birmingham as a basketball city, what basketball means to the city of Birmingham, and what you plan on doing for the city with Sanford being a school that's right there in the heart of it to kind of be a community school as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Joe Dean Jr. is a great man. He was the athletic director at Birmingham Southern when I played college basketball there, so I know him well. The city of Birmingham, Alabama in general, sports is everything. I'm telling you. There's no pro sports here, so it's kind of like the college sports are the pro teams and the high school sports are the college teams. And let's be real. There's not a ton to do here. People are religious people here. So they go to their church or synagogue. Then you have sports, And if you don't do that, maybe you like to hunt or fish. But outside of that, it's not like we're sitting here on the beach necessarily right now. We're not, way up high as a vacation area in the mountains. It's a place that when people, men, women, girls, boys, they rally around sports. So sports are extremely popular. So here I've coached in high school basketball here, and when we have our state championship games, we'll have 15,000 people at those games. So to build that excitement around Sanford, I just think it's going to be allowing all the people in the city to take ownership in our program. Understanding that they're a value to our program, they're a part of our program, that we're going to need the support of the city behind us to fight with us, because we're in a great conference in the SoCon, and we got to look like we're the underdogs, and we need everybody to jump on board with us, come be a part of it, come check our practices out, get you over there to our games. I just want everyone to feel like Sanford's their home, and that's what we're going to build, and it won't happen overnight, but we're going to make it happen, and when we get it going, I think we'll get it going, and we'll never look back.
You got there, and the SoCon is improving so much because 7 out of 10 schools this past season were 500 or better. You got Chattanooga right up the road from here in Atlanta, Mercer down around the road. You guys 2 hours to the west of here, and even ETSU, which is kind of 4 hours up the road and tucked up in East Tennessee. So you got all these different schools within driving distance of Atlanta. So how do you feel like you're going to recruit Atlanta specifically, but also with Birmingham being in a great centrally located place to go to Nashville, Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, of course, Atlanta, we just said, we can go down south towards Mobile, New Orleans. So you got a lot of ways to go to find talent that you can drive to, which was good for saving the budget too as well. So 80s like that. So let's talk about that a little bit, the location and recruiting, and how you guys can get branch out with the location of Birmingham, how it's located in Alabama, and get places very fast.
Yeah, no doubt. There's lots of great athletes in the South. We know that. I think that you got to find the right fit for your school. You got the right type of players. I like to have a mix between guys that are great athletes. Also, like to have that mix of not only they athletic, but hey, they're smart players. They think the game, and they're team players. And I think when you get guys that are athletic, they can think the game, and they're going to play hard. They're going to play unselfish. Great things can happen. I think a lot of times college coaches just they'll just take a guy because, hey, man, he's here with his stats. He scored this many points or did this, but just kind of like, well, is he a team player or not? And so we want to find guys that are going to be all about Sanford and all about our program and all about, hey, losing their individuality to a sense for the sake of the team. I've always kind of said the saying that, you don't have a true basketball team until everybody on the team gives up something they want to accomplish that season for the sake of the team. Or maybe somebody wants to score 17 points, but they got to score 10. Or maybe somebody, hey, he wants to be the go-to guy, but really he's going to be the go-to defensive guy, not the go-to offensive guy. We want to have guys in our program that truly understand that, truly can buy into that. And when we do that, I think we'll have a lot of success.
And another thing you got to deal with now, of course, which I know it's the second part of your job is probably tough, is the scheduling games. Because I know at the level, the SoCon level, you got to play those buy games where, because a lot of the athletes got to raise money for the university. A lot of listeners don't quite understand that concept a little, but you got to play those games kind of raise money for the athletic department in the university. So outside of those games, which you know you have to play, how you consistent going about scheduling games? Will it be more regional based, trying to get guys back home, or playing a non-exempt tournament? So how you think about you go about scheduling games going forward now since you're the man in charge of scheduling now here at Sanford?
Yeah, we obviously, I think we're playing 3 SEC schools next year, to quote buy games. But I like playing guys locally if possible. Create excitement. When I mean locally, I mean, hey, we're here in Alabama. Let's play. Teams in Alabama, teams in Georgia, teams Tennessee, teams right here in Mississippi and Florida. I think that it allows more people to attend the games. You want to create that atmosphere for the players. The more people at the games, the higher attendance, the better for the players. The more exciting atmosphere it is. And obviously, we know there's lots of great teams down here. We'll get to see a lot of those in conference play. But other than that, I mean, even just in the state of Alabama, I mean, there's plenty of good teams over here that we could play and create rivalries. Good rivalries that are fun for the team. So that's what we're going to look to do. We're going to play something. I can't divulge the schedule yet till every contract signed, but I'm looking at playing a lot of these teams that are locally that are known to be good basketball teams.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's a lot of great schools you can play D1 level here and all this, like you said, Mississippi. Pretty much on the I-20 corridor, you can pretty much find some good opponents that want to do it. It's always about wanting to do it. That's what it always boils down
No
to.
doubt.
I always put out
No
that big
doubt.
that big factor, want to do it. And last one I got for you, Bucky, is this. Can you tell our listeners who's been some guys in your career, personal professionals, really help mold you as a coach and make you the man you are today, that you'll be leaning on as you take on this journey leading the Sanford Bulldogs here going forward the next years to come?
Well, first is my college coach, Dwayne Reball, who's actually coming with me as an assistant coach with me to Sanford. So Dwayne Reball's a legend in Alabama, and he's a Hall of Fame coach and won 2 NAIA national championships at Birmingham Southern, and then he took the program to Division I. When I was there, we played in the Big South Conference, and we won the conference before we were even eligible to play in the tournament because there was a waiting period when you went to Division I. Now, the program has changed since then, but he had to get out of it. His wife had an illness and had to get out of it to take care of her for about a decade. Now he's getting back in with me. So we were just talking to Coach Reball the other day and said, man, it's funny that, hey, we're jumping right here, right across town. Here you go, about 14 years later, right here, going to Sanford to lead the program that we saw and observed while we were playing at Birmingham. I was playing at Birmingham Southern. He was coaching there. But he's been a big impact on me. I just think he's a great person, but he's a phenomenal coach, brilliant basketball mind. So he taught me a great deal about this, and I'm glad he's coming with me. My high school coach was great as well, Mark Cornelius, who gave me my first job as a Navy basketball coach when I was out of college, and believed in me as a player, believed in me as a coach, and I don't think without those guys I'd be where I am today.
Well, I hear that. Well, Bucky, hope to see you, man, when you guys play Mercer for sure. Maybe Chattanooga if you come over here and recruit. You have my phone number now, man. So love to see you, man. I come to Birmingham every now and again still myself. So I definitely hope to see you guys, man, doing well, man. I love the city of Birmingham. I always have fun at the Birmingham Bowl at Legion Field when I come cover that as well. So I love the city of Birmingham. It's been good to me, man. I know it'll be good to you here going forward as you've been a hometown 1205 Birmingham guy, man.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you having me. Let's stay in touch.
Will do, Bucky. Have a good day, buddy.
All right, later.
Grab a hold of big breakfast flavor at Hardee's. Try 2 breakfast sliders for just $2.99. Get Applewood smoked bacon or freshly grilled sausage with fluffy eggs and golden melty cheese, all on a toasty little bun. Good morning, start at Hardee's. Available now for a limited time at participating restaurants. Tax not included.
All right, what's back here on the Gerald the Bossman show here with Coach Landon Bussey here of the Alcorn State Braves out of the SWAC Conference. Coach, man, what's up with you guys down there in Mississippi, man?
Everything is going well. Just still trying to make the training all going. Right now, I'm still in Texas. Planning on getting out on campus within the next few weeks.
I hear that, the coach. What did it mean to you for the Alcorn to actually tab you as the new head coach there, going forward? Coach Robinson been there for 5 years there. They saw something in you and what you did preview down there with Coach Smith there, and wanted to bring you in. So, how did that make you feel?
It's a pleasure, to be, first and foremost, to be a candidate, to be the next basketball head coach. It was an honor, to be selected for that position. So it's an honor, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. And my plans is to go in there, put everything forward, and try to lead this program moving forward in the right direction.
And what was about Alcorn specifically that kind of caught your eye that you wanted to make sure take over this program? Because it's a story program, a lot of history, tradition there at Alcorn State there, and with the Braves. So what about the administration, the community, the university that kind of struck you to say, hey, I want to take this opportunity here and lead this program here going forward?
Like you said, I think the most important thing was the winning tradition that they had in the past. When Coach Davey was there, they was able to win multiple SWAC championships. And then the administration, the support they have shown through the past year with athletics, being that, football made it to the SWAC championship within the last 7 years. So it shows you have the support of the that's really the place when I considered, taking the job was last year. They finished in fourth place. It wasn't a rebuild year, so they're right there in the middle of the pack. So, I think with a few additions, a few techniques of my coaching philosophy, I just believe that we'll be able to take this program to the next level.
I hear that now, Coach. What feel like be the biggest adjustment for you, man? You've been an assistant coach for a while. You've been so. How did you prepare yourself mentally to become a head coach? I know when you're in that role as assistant coach, you try to think about you want to move on eventually to the next level here, being a head coach. So, how did you prepare yourself as an assistant coach to be a head coach now going here as you get the job here at Alcorn State?
And that's something to be honest, during my time at Prairie View, I really didn't think about it much. My whole job was to, work as hard as I can work and, try to do what my head coach asks of me and, just try to put in the most effort I can to help the program move forward, being successful. And I think that, Coach Smith gave me a lot of different leeway and a lot of different, I was able to make a lot of different decisions on the fly and things like that, and I think that prepared me for this opportunity, being that I was the top assistant at Prairie View. I recruited a significant amount of players. I helped them with the bench decor, with strategies, in-game plans, and things like that. That was the most important thing that helped me to be prepared for this opportunity.
I hear that, and in the SWAC conference, can you talk about how is it to build a program in the SWAC? We gotta be honest about it. Resources in the SWAC are not as much as they are in other mid majors or even high major schools. The resources not as much as most schools are in the SWAC conference. How do you go about building a program knowing you got limited resources to a degree, having to recruit guys, find the right fits for your program? So talk about the uniqueness of that in the SWAC conference and having to find the right fit based on the limitations that you have. That's not your fault. This just by economics of college sports right now.
I try not to look at it as in that light. I try to,
Okay.
make the best of the opportunity of what I have. And I'm a firm believer there's more good players than there are universities. But it's all about finding them good players and what works for you and what do you, because, how would they fit your system to be successful in the SWAC? And I think I got a good idea of the type of players that I want to recruit and the type of players that I believe that will help put Alcorn back on top of the SWAC. So I try not to look at it to a sense to where as though, you have limited resources. I just look at it to where as though, what's provided, as far as the resources, that's great. And everything else, I just got to do a good job of working hard and, finding good, talented players that I believe that will fit my system and the philosophy and that will help this program moving forward.
Now, Coach, you feel this way. That's how I kind of feel this way about this. Is that with this COVID-19 pandemic, and guys been on their own, you can see really got who are really players because they have to work out on their own. They might not have a goal or a hoop in their area, but they can do some running and working out and staying in shape. You can kind of see really guys who love the game, who really bleed basketball, who really about the life of being a baller. So, do you feel this kind of pandemic is kind of showing you coaches who are guys are for real about the game, who just want a scholarship, who just want to kind of do it just for fun?
Well, I think that every player has their different situations. Some of them is like following the rule of social distancing, and some of them is out running 3-4 miles and doing what they're supposed to do. But I really try not to base it off of that. Just based off of everybody's situation is different. Some people might have different resources than others, and some people situation is just different altogether. So what I try to do during this time is make a lot of phone calls and call the former coach as the AAU coach, call the former high school coach, former college coach, call the coaches that they played against to really get a good understanding about the young man, and call the parent to really get a good understanding about the young man on the court, off the court. I want to see the coaches that he played against. What did they think about him? Did they think it was tough to prepare for him, or did they think that he was just an okay player? So I try not to analyze it to where as though some kids might be able to work out, some kids not. Some kids are dedicated. I think that's kind of hard to analyze because everybody's situation is different, and some kids have different resources than others.
How was it big? Getting kind of know your team via Zoom and FaceTime. That was not the most ideal way to get to know a new team, new situation. But how's it been going meeting with players via the Zoom and FaceTime here the past few weeks?
I think it's been going well. It's kind of different and unique, but we're going to make the best out of it. But it's been going well. FaceTime and Zoom and talking on the phone and talking to different parents and things like that. From the first weeks, this has been going on a week. Everything has been going well as far as that aspect.
And for as you guys trying to recruit young men to your program, what would be the ideal Alcorn State Brave in your mind, coaches you want to have in your program as you set your culture here, 2020 going forward?
The most important thing you want to do first is you want to check that character. That's definitely a checkbox. You want to, identify, the type of kid that he is, that character. You like I said, you do research by talking to the parent, talking to former coach. And the next thing you would want to do is, check their work ethic and their toughness. As far as, the work ethic in the classroom and the work ethic on the court, and the toughness to see, if they're able to obtain, what that's going to be faced in front of them. And the next thing you want to focus on is their talent. How talented is the young man? Can he fit your system? Does he have good enough talent to, be successful at your level? And then after that, you pretty much make a decision off of the information you have received.
And coach, also good for you, I feel like, is you was in the SWAC conference already, so you kind of know all the coaches in the conference. Would it be Coach Howard at Alabama State, Sean Woods down there at Southern, Coach Smith where you came from, Coach Jones at Southern there, so you got some great coaches in your league there that you already know. So you feel like that'll help you out as you give conference play because you already know these guys. You've coached against these guys already. You know what schemes they run. You know their players. So I think that's going to really help you out a lot come SWAC conference time play next year.
Oh, most definitely, it's going to help me out a lot. Just by being in the conference, you definitely know some of the coaches' strengths. And what to prepare for and what to look for. So that's definitely going to help when you're going up against Sean Woods, down the side, who really tough. So you're going to prepare your team to just be as tough, if not tougher. And other teams in the SWAC, that's going to be tough as well. And different philosophy. Some teams play 2-3. Some teams like to slow it down. Some teams like to get out and transition and run. So you definitely have an idea of the coaching style and the philosophy that you're going to be looking forward to and to prepare for.
And non-conference scheduling wise, listeners have noticed about it on the show. We talked about one time on the show, coaches. You got to play bye games. You got to play the guarantee games, raise money for the university. So outside those bye games, you have to play. How you see yourself going about scheduling for your team going forward? Are you going to be a hard schedule, or you want to challenge your guys non-conference, or you want to give them some wins before you jump in that SWAC conference play there in January?
I think that right now, you definitely want to have some teams that's going to challenge you, and so you can test to see where you are. So
at the time.
Some tougher teams to where as though, and we're going to go in there and try to fight and give it everything we got. And those games will, be able to test the student athletes to see, where they are. And then we'll have a mixture of other schools that we're going to play and things like that. But I think it's going to be a mixture of both.
And that's what I got for your coaches is who have been some coaches in your career who's really helped mold you as a coach and helped you in your career path, lead you to the point now where you're the All-Corn State Braves head coach now.
Man,
The most important thing, I think Coach Byron Smith has helped me a lot at Prairie View. I think that, like I said, he helped me prepare me for the situation. Like I said, he gave me a lot of leeway to make decisions and recruit and, make game management decisions, things like that. And so he helped me along the way. And also Daniel Jackson, this past year, he was at UAB. He was my head coach when I was at Xavier University of Louisiana. College. My coach as well before I transferred to Xavier University. So, those three guys right there, probably, three guys I can think about off the top of my head will help me as far as getting to this level.
Coach Bussy, I'm definitely happy for you getting this job, man. Hope to talk to you more down the road, man, as you build your program, man. Hope to see you in Birmingham at the tournament, man. I like coming to y'all tournament in Birmingham. It's real nice. So I like to hope to see you guys win that title here real soon, man.
I appreciate that, and we plan on being in Birmingham. So look forward to seeing you out there.
All right, Coach. Have a good one now.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Nice talking to you.
Same here. Look forward to it. Seeing you down the road, buddy.
All right, sounds good.
Sally Beauty's new all-in-one hair color kits make it easy to color your hair at home. Get everything you need to color for beautifully radiant results. Loved by professionals, open to everyone. Sally Beauty.
All right, for back on the Bossman show, time for my man in Memphis, J.C. Smith, part of the New Essential SF podcast. Here I want to keep cleaning for the listeners out here who have baby ears. So Essential AF, insert the words as you know what they are podcasts out there. My man, J.C. Smith, bro, what is good, man?
Boss, what's happening with you, man? You staying safe down there?
Brother, I am. Brother, I have a new set of gloves, safety goggles, some safety shades, and some surgical masks. I'm good right here, brother.
Oh, really?
I'm ready to go out into this corona world right now.
There it is, man. What's going on with it?
Man, not much, bro. I would tell you this, bro. I'm telling you about 2 or 3 weeks, brother. Georgia's going to be messed up because, as our governor opened the state back last Friday, right? And, let's just say some people was at the barbershops and salons this past weekend, brother, and some clubs open up. And it ain't going to be pretty in about 2 weeks here in Georgia. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, man. I saw the footage. Everybody getting back out into the world, man. Like I said, you hope for the best, but studies have shown, the data has shown it may not be pretty in a couple of weeks, man.
Yeah, not down here in Georgia for sure, brother. Well, bro, man, let's just hit it, though. The NFL draft, man. Man, what were your thoughts on the draft, man, overall, man, and some picks that was taken, some teams? Who stood out to you making some key moves? Who some picks you looking forward to kind of keeping your eye on as the season progresses, if we have a season this year?
Right. Like I said, all contingent on if we even have a season, man. But some of the moves, some of the picks I liked, man. Starting, of course, Burrow was going to go number 1 overall to Cincinnati. I really like what Miami did, signing Tua. I think Tua, is going to be a star when it's all said and done, man. Like I said, pretty much the draft went in order, and then, when it comes to, are you still? Oh, so boss, before I go any further, are you claiming the Cowboys this year? Or are you still not rocking with them?
I claim nobody, brother. I'm indifferent this year. Still.
He's indifferent. Okay. All right. Still indifferent. Okay. All right. But so okay. Then CeeDee Lamb, the star receiver from Oklahoma, man, he was able to fall to the Cowboys at 17 when a lot of people thought he'd be off the board. By then, he ended up being the 3rd receiver taken in the draft, man, and it's a surprise that fell to the Cowboys there. A present, Jerry Jones was all giddy
on the telecast there of the draft, man, when they were about to announce they were about to get CD Lamb. And then an interesting side note happened. While CD Lamb was on the phone with the Cowboys, he had the Cowboy phone in one hand, and he had his other phone, hint hint, in the other hand, right? So in
Yes.
my mind, the way it went off, he was probably getting texts, left and right on the other phone, and it was going off, and his girl, who, by the way, has been rumored to have been dating Trey Young in the
That's
past.
correct. And
All
we
right.
all knew that. We hit him hard for it in the Atlanta media.
Yeah. 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 Is that her real name? Is her real name Crimson,
Yes.
or is that just a Instagram name?
That's what the name I've always known her as when she was
Yeah,
around here.
Crimson Rose. All right.
Originally, yes.
Yeah, because I was thinking maybe it had a tie-in with Oklahoma because Oklahoma's team colors, the colors are crimson. So I thought maybe it was a tie-in with that. But yeah, Crimson Rose, man, who will now forever be notoriously known across social media as being the girl that CeeDee Lamb snatched his phone away from. And boss, I know CeeDee Lamb is going to be a Hall of Famer. You want to know why? The awareness that he had when he saw old girl snatch that phone, the awareness and the grip that he had on that phone, you could tell it was some other stuff going on that phone, man. The way he gripped it, snatched it back, and then the side eye look that he gave to her,
Yes.
hey, boo, hey, you have to be replaced. I'm a first round draft pick, multi-millionaire in a few months. You about to be replaced if you keep acting up. That was the look that he gave her, man. So that was classic.
Correct.
And then my man for the Titans, who they just drafted, the big offensive lineman, is Isaiah Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Him and his girl, I'm not going to say the girl was trying to steal any shine or anything like that. I think she was just honestly happy for her guy, happy for her dude. They were embracing. It was a moment. However, Mama said, get up. Mama said, get your butt up. And then I was tripping. Old girl acting like she didn't want to move at first. Mama, hey, the Titans didn't see about offering the mama a contract the way she tackled old girl off her son.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. And, there are a lot of parents and families out of line at the draft. It was crazy, bro. The girlfriends were tripping. The families were tripping. And what happened to the 10 or less? I saw more than 10 people at certain gatherings.
Right.
I saw that, brother.
Right.
I thought we had this thing going on, but obviously 10 or more. But I think we had that went straight to hell, too.
No doubt, man. Like you said, but overall, I enjoyed the draft, the virtual draft setup. It was different, everything went kind of, as expected. There was no issues, technical issues or anything like that. It was a pretty cool deal, man. Millions of people tuned in to over the 3 days of the draft, man. So I think overall it was a good look, man. Like I said, a lot of teams helped themselves, through the draft. The Packers, I don't know what's going on with the Packers right now.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be salty. He don't want to trade.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, man. You talk about a team that made it all the way to the NFC Championship game last year, with the roster they had. So you would think that they have a window where they can try to compete for, a ring, the next year or two, another ring to add to Aaron Rodgers' collection there, because he only has one ring. So you would think they would give him some help, a couple of receivers. This draft was deep with receivers, as we all know. But their first pick looks like they're looking to the future, man. They're going to put Aaron Rodgers in their rear view the next couple of years. And they're going to move on with Utah State's Jordan Love. If he can progress and get better, he's going to definitely sit out for the next year or two, man. But the Packers have their eye on the future, man. So, it definitely looks like it spells the end for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
No doubt. And also, CeeDee Lamb means, and Jerry Jones wanting him to wear 88 means that Dez Bryant, stop posting videos with Dak Prescott. You're not getting a job with the Cowboys, dude. It's over.
Yeah. You know what I would hope for Dez, and like I said, Jerry's fond of him. and everything. Give him a job, man. You know, I don't know if Dez would be open to it. His playing days are over with now, but I don't know if he'd be open to it, man. You know, assistant receiver coach, you know, because I think he has a lot of wisdom and a lot of passion that he can pass down to the young guys, man. And, you know, that's my hope for Dez, man. You know, get a job in the organization, you know, just get back, you know, to being able to have fun, man, and share, you know, his knowledge with the rest of the young guys on the team, man, because his dream of getting back with the Cowboys, that's a wrap, man. I never saw that happening from the get-go anyway, man.
But he's desperate.
Yeah, he's looking real thirsty out there, man.
Yeah, like I hope that kind of was like, yo, Dez, we're done, Dez. We're done,
Right.
Dez. We're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we watched The Last Dance. So episode 3 and 4 came out this past weekend. Watched 1 and 2. Kind of hearing about how the '98 Bulls kind of tore down prematurely, and we know how the Bulls rebuild has went since 1998 and '99 season, nowhere fast. You know, so let's
Right.
just say that Jerry Krause erred in judgment. But just before you kind of talk about this, bro, would you have tried to run it back as long as you could have, or would you just did what Krause and the Rounds have tried to do, which is, hey, get out before it gets too late, before it really gets bad, you know? Because I see some teams where they stick together too long and it just looks bad when it's on its last legs, and they didn't want that to happen to them. So, what are your thoughts on just the whole setup of The Last Dance, with what we've seen episodes 1 through 4 so far?
You know what? I love it, man. You know, me growing up, I was the biggest Bulls fan, the biggest Jordan fan, biggest Pippen fan. You know what I'm saying? You know, I would cry. You hear me? Like, if the Bulls lost back in the day when I was a kid, I would cry if they lost the playoffs, man. Like, I was rolling tough, man, with the Bulls. So, you know, I'm loving this documentary, man. You know, it's been 22 years in the making. So I'm glad that they decided to go ahead and release it now. But in regards to your question about, you know, Jerry Krause and do you break it up? They break it up too soon. I believe this. The Bulls, you know, during, like I said, six titles in 8 years. All those games, man, they play all those playoff games. And those guys are getting up in age, and you know the tread on those tires are kind of, you know, looking a little thin after a certain point. So I understand the sentiment of Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf of going ahead and dismantling the team. But I also understand where Mike and them are coming from. Like, hey, you know, we're the champs until somebody, you know, knocks us off the hill. So why not give us the opportunity to do that? I agree. I believe they should have probably gotten maybe one more year. But I'm going to tell you this, boss. After that 98 season, all right, you had to strike shortened season. So you only had 50 games, you know, a quick regular season, and, you know, a matchup against the Spurs in the finals. Tim Duncan and David Robinson would have been tough, man, because the Bulls, their Achilles heel was always dealing with big men that had game, man. Like, they had no answer for that. So, that, you know, it was always, you know, believed that if the Bulls would face the Rockets, you know, in that 93 or 93, 94 season or 94, 95 season when Mike was, you know, on his baseball hiatus, a lot of people believe that the Rockets could have beaten the Bulls, you know, because the Elijah one was just, you know, a nightmare. Like who was going to handle him? So you talk about who's going to handle those bigs for the Spurs. You know, you got Twin Towers, Robinson, and Duncan was, you know, killing folks. You know what I'm saying? Only his second year in the league at that point. So it would have been tough, you know, maybe a 6 or 7 game series. And then the following year, you got Kobe and Shaq you're dealing with, man. So I believe that, you know, they probably should have got maybe another year or so to try. But at the same time, I would never want to see Michael lose a final. I would never want to see Jordan lose a final. I never want to see the Bulls lose a final, man. It was something about being perfect that just stands the test of time. And that's what makes him the GOAT, man. You're talking 6 for 6. Like, okay, LeBron may be a better all-around player, but you talk about LeBron having a 3-6 record in the final, man. And in the finals, that means something when it's all said and done, man. I think that's why Jordan will always have that stature over everybody else, man, because he was perfect in the finals, man. Kobe lost twice in the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, it means something to get to the championship championship series, man, the finals, and you perfect 6 for 6, man. That's why he's the GOAT.
No doubt, and I would say with the lockout that year, it probably ended naturally where it should have been. Because, like you said, the shortened '99 season with the lockout, it would have been ugly, probably.
Yeah.
And
You know
you
what I'm
know,
saying?
and guys on the 1 year deals, how do you convince
Right. And yeah.
Pippen to come back after
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
he feels? So I think, as we would say, one have one more shot at it, but it kind of ended where it needed to end. It kind of with how the lockout went, So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The lockout pretty much sealed their fate. And then also, what you're watching now, and, in all the episodes so far, the fact that Krause already said that, hey, Phil Jackson's not coming back. He was trying to get rid of Phil after the 72-10 season. That's crazy when you think about it, man. But and also, they were not going to give Pippen a big deal. Pippen had to go elsewhere to get his money after their last championship. So, like I said, it ended at the right time, the way it was supposed to. But it's just a shame that, because you would never see that happening today. If a team has won 6 titles in 8 years and they're talking about breaking it up, that never would happen.
Unless you're Kevin Durant,
stupid. Just time, yeah.
Unless you're Kevin Durant, stupid.
Right. Exactly. Pretty much.
So, yeah, and last topic, bro, it's kind of sad what's going on with COVID-19, but a report came out of how funeral homes are dominating radio advertising now. That's messed up. We know what's going on with the pandemic around us, and people are dropping like flies, but for real, you have to advertise your services now on the radio now, and taking over where ad dollars are going out. You pushing into them, bro. It just seems so sick and twisted to me, brother.
Hey man, we're living in some crazy times. Like you said, funeral businesses, hey, they see opportunity, and they know what's going on out here, man. People are dying, by the hundreds, by the thousands. So, they see opportunity to cash in, as far as the advertising and the way that thing goes, man. But, like I said, just overall, man, like it's just a shame that, we're not taking care of each other as people. At the end of the day, it's all about money, dollar bill, and that's all well and good. But at a certain point, it's about looking out for your fellow man. And it's a situation where, you may not have any symptoms or anything, man, but you can pass it on to somebody, and that person pass it on to, and so on to the point, where we're right back in the same boat again. So, I just wish people would just take heed and just, chill, man. Outside is gonna be there. It ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be there. Just take your time, man. I know everybody wants to get back out and, enjoy these nice spring days before it gets, super high out here. But it's gonna be there for you, man. But it's all about taking care of the brother, man, taking care of the other man, and everybody just kind of look out for everybody. And we're gonna be all right.
Yes, indeed, no doubt. Well, bro, thank you for your time all this week, brother. We'll talk to you next week, and we'll recap some more Last Dance episodes and see what else happens in the world of sports between now and next week, my good brother.
How do you feel about your office? Is it just a space for your company, or is it a space to help you grow your company? From new HQs to satellite offices, with WeWork, you can find a space that works for you. Visit we.co/space matters to learn more.
Falls back on the Boss Report, Boss and Bone, breaking down all the craziness in Florida, from Florida men and Florida women, Florida children. Bone, what's up with you guys up there in Jersey? How's the corona life treating you? How's the quarantine life treating you right now, my man?
For me, man, the quarantine life is my life, man, because I'm already a homebody. I'm already enjoying libations in my basement, so I'm good, man. And we're taking sound up here in Jersey because we have common sense, man. We are not open for business just yet.
Unlike, say, of Georgia and Florida, who are now open for business, you have barbershops open, they're going to die. Salons, they're going to die. Estheticians, they're going to die. The nail shops, they're going to die. The tattoo parlors, they going to die. The bowling alley, movie theaters, now restaurants, and malls are coming this weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
And Bone, let me ask you just a sensible question. I know this is a Florida Boss Report, but this is Georgia. How can you socially distance at a barbershop, a salon, nail shop, tattoo parlor, a gym? How's that possible?
It is not. So that means all funeral parlors, their advertising commercials, they're open for business tenfold.
Correct. And I don't know how do you stay safe. They're breathing in your face if you're a barber or stylist. And, I just don't know. Well, I'll just go to a movie theater or a bowling alley or a gym right now. And I'm going to put this out there. This is a trap for black people because we own these type of businesses. This is a trap for us. When the country clubs start opening up, when the croquet clubs are opening up, tennis courts open up, then you go outside because it must be safe. Boom. It's a backdoor setup. I'm telling you, they don't see it. I see the play.
Yeah, because our people, we love getting our hair done, our nails done, man. We love just going to the barber shop and just chopping it up with our peoples, man. Look, I'm thankful that Jersey has common sense. I'm also thankful that I shave my own hair weekly anyway. I don't need that noise. But people down in Georgia and Florida, man, y'all got to come up together and ride together and be smart.
Overcome our dumb governors. I mean, think about the South Bone, how dumb the governors are in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida. Some of the Arkansas, too. Some of the dumbest governors in the union are down here.
Yeah, and I think the problem is y'all are just giving us more ammo. Us folks up north, y'all just giving us more ammo for jokes, man. So just come to common sense, man.
And you know what their biggest problem is, these stooges? They're stooges for Lysol Man, Disinfectant Man, Sunlight Man, who actually suggested on live TV that we could inject Lysol or Clorox disinfectant into your body to fight the virus, get out of your lungs, and mint it.
Yeah, and there are fools that are probably trying it too. The same fools that ate Tide Pods. These fools is like a natural selection. So if y'all fools want to keep doing those things, by all means, man.
Yes, Bob. You don't follow a fool, be a fool. You can not like a fool. You know what I'm saying? So, folks, you've been waiting on it. It's time for it. It's here. It's the Boss Report. First straight bone is this. Florida man arrested for throwing bowling ball through neighbor's window after he caught the neighbor tapping his wife the night before.
So he threw the bowling ball through the window? Did it hit anyone?
Yes, the neighbor gave him a concussion.
Ooh. I mean, what, he threw it like with two hands or one hand? I got to know this because I want to know how grown man strength he has.
One hand, 15-pound ball.
You know what? 15-pound ball, if you're throwing it, that is some pretty impressive grown man strength. So if you add that plus the race he probably had in his body, man, I don't blame him, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Rona would make you not want to cheat because you don't know if the other person got it or not. So I know side pieces have been hurting right now because of the Rona. But this man went and got him something from the neighbor right next door, I guess. He said, I'm going to try this while he gone, I guess.
Yeah, it was like almost like a free delivery kind of thing. I mean, he probably knows that they're safe. They probably thought, I'll be at home. Wife's probably alone and lonely, But he didn't count for that grown man strength, though. He's throwing a bowling ball through a window like that.
Exactly. Get this. Same kind of situation. Florida man uses a brick paver to break into the convenience store to get some Swisher Sweets.
Some sweets?
Yeah.
You know what? On this quarantine life where all the prices are jacked up a little bit and everyone's getting gouged, price gouging, you know what? Times are hard and you got that free tooth, man.
I hear that. That's crazy. And this is kind of crazy, too. Florida man's welcome mat said, come back with a warrant, and that's what the deputies did after finding he was running a child porn ring secretly on his computer.
Oh, see, I was gonna laugh and say, that's a pretty dope welcome mat. Come back with a warrant. But now I see why he did that, and now that's just a thing. And you know what? Quarantine or not, corona or not, when that dude gets locked up and thrown in gem pop, he will not be treated kindly.
Got that right. Florida pastor and ICU have sent letters to patrons for tithes and offerings And one preacher came to church during the middle of the live service and beat him down with a metal bat, an Easton.
So he's asking for topping offerings?
Yes, and he says to send letters to the patrons. So, but the man was so angry. They don't know how you're doing church online. Some people are. He came to the church house on Sunday with a bat and knocked the pastor out in the middle of live service for asking for money during the pandemic. He ain't got no job.
You know what? I mean, I'm not gonna say should have done that, but I understand. You know, times are tight right now, man. What's a man doing? You know, but the bat. Ooh, how much damage was the bat done to him?
I mean, he's in ICU right now with multiple injuries, internal and external injuries. The pastor and the Patriots on the loose still. They can't find him.
Wow. But wait,
Yeah.
did he beat him down on a live broadcast?
Yes, he did.
And they can't find him still?
They cannot find him still.
He got used on his side.
Yeah. Oh, this is so Florida. Florida man arrested for shooting bullets at tractor trailers as they pass by his house on the highway.
Now, I know times are now tight, and we're all going a little stir crazy. And I know he must be bored as hell at home. But why? How are you that bored? How are you that bored not thinking through? What happens if that tanker explodes? What happens if you will have if a straight bullet? Like how
a ricochet or something like
a ricochet? How bored are you?
Yeah. Exactly. Get this. Florida man facing 12 charges after putting Walmart customers in the ankle lock one time, a rock bottom a second time, and hit him with the Rakishi the third time.
Oh, see, he must be a fan of the show or listen to the show because remember I think last week I did ask for more variety in the moves.
You did.
I did ask for ankle lock here or there, so he listens to that. So I thank you for listening in your ears. But the Rikishi, that's where I draw the line at, man. I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna tell on side note. Like I have friends who wrestle, and who have friends who were like independent wrestlers, and they joined the federation at the time where Rikishi was at its peak, and they told me that they were summoned to get Rikishi. Now, look, for no amount of money in the world am I taking the Rikishi butt face thing. There's no way. But this dude was handing out for free.
Yes, and how do you put like an ankle lock in the middle of Walmart, though?
Yeah, the ankle lock is very creative. I thank you for listening, sir, because I did ask for more variety and moves, so the ankle lock is appreciated.
Yeah, also, my man hitting the pass with that bat, too. He gave a variety as well.
Oh, that is true. Because I did ask for variety because I was getting kind of stale. You know, all we had were steel chairs and stunners, but the ankle lock and the bat and the Rikishi, I thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Here we go. Florida man arrested after stealing some sleeping iguanas and getting scared. They woke up on him in the car and started attacking and had a wreck. He was drunk, too.
Oh, so he was drunk. So he was probably he probably was so drunk. He probably thought they were like ghosts. Because he probably thought that they're rise from the dead or something, man. Because like, you got to know by now, if you're living in Florida, you got to know. Like, I know not from Jersey that they're not dead, man. They're just like, they're like hibernation. They're not dead. How come I know this and some people down there don't know?
What it happens is, it gets below 45 degrees, they tap out.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I know this, a Yankee myself knows this, how come y'all ain't knowing this, man? Come on.
Exactly. Man, oh man. Florida woman stole Xanax and Percocet from Walgreens she works at in an effort to keep her from getting robbed and to help her man get bigger down there.
Oh my goodness. Like, again, pun intended, times are hard, man. He was just like looking for a little something extra, man. You know, times are kind of, down. Everyone's cooped up, and maybe homeboy wasn't performing right. And, like, again, times are hard.
Exactly. The stupid Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, calls Florida, quote, God's waiting room amid the coronavirus outbreak. What a dummy.
Yeah, I've actually heard that before about God's waiting room being in Florida. That is so wrong. And like to say with your buddies at a bar or at the private home, but you're the governor, man. What are you thinking?
Whoo-wee, what an idiot. Get this. This is so weird and so weird, this story. Florida man having a bad day at work because coworker would not let him rub her pregnant belly or give him a top-off job, causing a bomb threat in retaliation, then cut off his own junk in the office.
There it is. There's the coup de grace. Only the cutting of your own junk because you don't get toppy. That kind of defeats the purpose, folks. Is you're gonna want to use that thing, someday for more toppy. To cut it off because you're not getting toppy is counterproductive. But maybe he must have been really hard up because he might have had a fetish, because I've seen those guys having fetishes, predators. Maybe he had a fetish, but to cut off your own junk because you're not getting any action defeats the purpose, folks.
Exactly. Man, oh man. Get this, Tampa, Florida man spends some investors' money on strippers and cars after the investor put him in charge of the funds.
Oh. So I wonder if they vet these people properly, man. Like you can't hand over funds to people and not vet them properly. Because you got to know, my man wanted a bender, huh?
Especially in Florida.
Yeah, you got to vet better than that, man.
Get this. 10-year-old Florida girl put up a sign, help me, get me out of here, sign on window because she was struggling with her homework.
I'm surprised it was a parent doing that because I know homeschooling your kids now, I hope y'all out there really appreciate teachers and educators out there for how much hard work it is to teach your kids for 8 hours a day. Now you have your own kid to teach. I hope y'all are seeing this. But it must be a really miserable time right now for that poor little girl and her parents that she wants to escape.
Correct. Oh, get this. Florida man in ICU after drinking a bottle of rubbing alcohol for COVID-19 after hearing this from the Lysol fool in D.C.
2 words, natural selection. Sir, if you're listening, I thank you for making this world less populated or trying to make the world less populated. Because if you fools out there are going to listen to President Tang, y'all deserve what y'all get because y'all going to listen to people who try to inject household products into your system. Please do you, but please stay from us.
Correct. Same story, another story, Bone. Orlando man found dead, not dead, they said almost dead, after being caught drinking Clorox bleach inside of a Winn-Dixie.
There you go. See, you're trying to do us a service by making the world less populated and one less mouth to feed. I mean, if you want to kill that dude, that misinformed dude, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Correct. Florida man fired to put out his junk during a Zoom work meeting, saying, quote, one lady to see what I'm working with.
Ha! Man, you gotta be careful on those Zooms, man. Like, I make sure after I'm done my Zoom meetings and conference calls and everything, I make sure that I cover up that camera lens real quick, man, because it's just idiocy. But this cat actually did on purpose. He wanted to show what he's working with, man. I mean, at least it wasn't cut off at least this time. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing that it wasn't cut off on live stream. But to show what you're working with, man, he wasn't really, really bored or a mess.
Correct. A Florida woman spits chewed food into fruit bins at Walmart, laughs when questioned by police saying, quote, I'm trying to get them people sick.
Oh. So he just chewing up food and spit like that out again? Mm-hmm. Oh. So, I mean, she's not of our ilk, right?
She is.
She is? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's an upset. I would have had long odds on that one. I would have lost that bet. Wow. So, you got me, man. I feel lost of words because I would never think that someone someone of our ilk would be doing something like that.
Yeah, it was definitely disappointing when I saw our mugshot. Disappointing. Tell you what, Florida man accused of spitting on cop claimed he had coronavirus.
And was he arrested?
He was, and he was not real.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, because my next question was he injured or was he, half murdered or something like that? So then that shows that he was not of our ilk, and he's still walking and talking and breathing.
Mm-hmm. He's still with us.
Yeah, still with us.
Get this.
Jeez.
Get this. Florida man pastor wearing a Giannis Antetokounmpo jersey, sad choice of jersey, accused of punching donor 70 through the distribution center who would not join the church.
Wow. He's wearing a Giannis jersey?
Yes, which is a bad choice.
So he must have been a Bucks fan, which means he must be a Bud fan, which means he's probably already deranged as it is.
Correct. Yeah, that story. That story done me. I saw wearing a Giannis jersey. For real, I'm already done with you at that point.
Yeah, he's already deranged. He's a Bucks fan and a Bud fan. I mean, he's already a little unstable as it is.
Got that right. Get this. Florida man arrested for shooting at firefighters goes out a burning home across the street from him to save people.
So he's just like duck hunt, just shooting firefighters?
Yes, shooting yes.
Oh, he is wild. I mean, that takes it to a whole new level. Like a dude shooting at trucks and tankers on the highway, that's one thing. But shooting at people like it's a duck hunt video game, that is a whole nother level, man.
Get this. Florida man plans to stalk the newly reopened beaches dressed as the Grim Reaper.
I heard about that. So Florida man won the Reaper, and they call that Heaven's
God's waiting room.
God's waiting room, and he wearing a Reaper outfit, man. That you can't beat that, man. So first of all, isn't it hot down there? That dude sitting in a suit all day on the beach.
Yes. Also, they're putting caskets on the beach too, as a reminder.
What?
In Florida.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So this cat might actually join them because of dehydration. Because if you don't be in that suit all day, you're gonna be in that suit all day and on the beach, a hot beach, man. You'll be enjoying them one day soon.
Oh goodness, South Florida. That was his points. Get this: moonshine drinking Florida man who threatened to deputy jailed again on DUI charges after getting caught at a stoplight, whacking himself off to some Pornhub on his Droid phone.
See, it's that Pornhub, man. That's a trap, y'all. Pornhub is like free now, right? I heard a premium or whatever is free. So that's a trap, y'all. That's how I'm going to get y'all, because y'all going to be bored and lonely, probably drunk and high, and y'all going to be doing the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Oh, good bone. You might like this. Florida man puts fake COVID-19 warning on door to try to avoid an arrest warrant. Deputies still come in there, choose up the deputies, put the deputy in the walls of Jericho.
He put the deputy in the wall of Jericho?
Yes.
How big is this dude, man?
6'4". He told the other deputy, shoot me. Yeah, shoot him too if you shoot me. I got him in the walls.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's like a big old country dude. And that poor deputy, man. Because the wall of Jericho is a hard one to pull off on a live body, like a body that's not willing to be put in the wall of Jericho. That's a hard one to pull off. I mean, I put my son in it. He's 14. That's not a problem. But to put a grown man in it, man, that's a move that takes a lot of strength, because the dude is sure is unwilling to be put in the wall of Jericho in the first place.
Correct. Yeah, that one threw me off when I read it. But he put him in the walls, and the deputy was tapping.
My goodness.
Only in Florida, right? Last two today. Florida man attacks elderly roommate, woke him up for breakfast.
That's it?
Yeah. Arrested for it, yeah.
I'm not a morning man myself, so to wake me up, but I love some breakfast, man. So I can't be understanding how you can beat somebody up because they want to wake you for breakfast, man. How angry are you Are you freaking angry? Like what's your problem?
Exactly. I don't get it, man. And the last story of the day. Florida man seeks to flatten the curve of COVID-19 by attacking people on the beaches with bats to knock them off and scare them off the beaches.
Damn. So he's just beating people down with bats?
Yes.
Was it actual contact or just swinging?
Actual contact.
Ooh.
Male or female, does not care.
Oh, yeah, he's a little deranged. Like, it's one thing to be a reaper and put out caskets to people. Well, that's one thing. But you're actually promoting violence on people because they're on a beach. Now, those idiots should be in the first place, but to get beaten down with a bat for it, it's a little excessive, no?
Yeah, very obsessive. Very, very obsessive. So, Bone, we're at the end of the report this week. What is your thoughts this week's report, man?
Well, it was fun taking a shot at Bud. That's always fun. I thought it was a good part of the show. But also, thank you to listeners out there who are actually adding more variety to your moves. We had a Walter Jericho, had an ankle lock. We had a Rikishi, which is barf. But thank you, though, for listeners out there, to our suggestions to make things a little more spicier, because it was getting a little stale all starting at the bottom. To add an ankle lock and a Walter Jericho is very ingenious. Thank you.
And can't forget, remember, people in Florida, if 45 degrees and below, the iguanas will tap out. They will be back.
Yes, that's right. They are not undead. They're not come back to life. They're already alive, folks. Just sleeping.
And finally, just because you don't get what you want from a female, do not cut your Johnson off.
Yeah, that's counterproductive, folks. That's
so
counterproductive.
that's our PSA for this week. Be safe, but if you don't get your way, don't cut off your Johnson. And also, why are you chasing the Prego, though? And it worked.
He had a fetish. He had a thing.
Don't understand it. Don't understand it. Well, folks, that's the Boss Report for this week, Boss and Bone. We are